Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. When I was 7 years old, I watched the best movie ever. Atsibanya babaditsi baba Spen ben baba ibada uweyo. Does anyone know what movie that is? The Lion King. The Lion King was my favorite movie in the whole world. It was the story of a little lion cub named Simba who loses his mom and his dad, and he learns to live without them. It was the best movie. It was full of action. Stampede in the gorge, Simba's in it. It was full of drama. Everything the light touches is your kingdom. And it was full of songs. Now, I won't do it again, but I remember when I was 7 years old in my school, I went to show and tell. And at show and tell, I stood on the top of the chair and I sang this song for everyone because I loved it so much. Now, my mom knew that I loved it too. So one day when I came home from school and I ran up to my bed, I noticed that there was a box on my bed. And when I tiptoed closer towards it and I grabbed it and I put it into my hands, I noticed that there was a little sign on it that said The Lion King. I began to think, what in the world could be inside? So I opened it up, and inside there was a fully functioning Simba action figure. It was a little lion that went side to side, and when you pressed a little button on the back, it would go roar. I have a feeling like some of you guys can roar. Okay, I want you to do it with me. We're going to press the button. We're going to roar together. We press the button, we go roar. That was pretty good. I think we can do a little bit better, though. Let's press the button. We're going to press the button. It goes roar. That was pretty good, but a couple of the dads in the back didn't do it, so we're going to do it one more time, all right? We're going to press the button. It goes roar. I loved this action figure. I took it with me everywhere. I remember in Minnesota on my lawn in Maple Grove, we would see little birds, and so me and Simba, we would go closer towards it, and I'd press the button, and he would go roar. I remember at dinner, after we would eat, my mom would give us dessert. And so I would put Simba on the table next to me, and I would say, Mom, Simba's a little bit hungry too. And so my mom would give him a donut, but he couldn't actually eat it, so then I would have to finish it. It was the best. Even at nighttime, when it'd be time for me to go to bed, I would lay down in my bed and I would look at Simba and I'd say, Assalamu alaikum, Simba, good night. And Simba would look at me and I'd press the button and he would go, roar. Now, at about that time, something interesting started happening at my masjid. There was a new group of people who were coming. They wore a different kind of clothing than I wore. They spoke a different language. They even ate different types of food. These people were called refugees. I want you to say it after me, refugee. Refugee. One more time, refugee. Refugee. One last time, refugee. Refugee. Who here knows what it means to be a refugee? Like, what does that mean? Yes. What is your name?
Momina.
Momina. And Momina, who is a refugee? What is a refugee?
A refugee is a person who had to leave their country and go to another place.
And did they leave it just for fun, for vacation, or why did they have to leave their country?
They had to because there was war or something that could hurt them.
That's absolutely right. Can we all give Momina a big round of applause? A big round of applause! Guys, that was pretty big. That was not a big round of applause. We need a big round of applause! MashaAllah. Very good. So a refugee is someone who had to leave their home. All of their toys, all of their clothes, all of the yummy food in their refrigerator. They had to leave everything because maybe there was a war, or maybe there was like a big tornado or a big natural disaster. And so when I was 7 years old, we had people coming from a country called Bosnia. Now, I remember coming to my masjid. The imam of my masjid came to the front. He had a microphone and he held up some plastic bags. And we were all scratching our heads. Why is he holding a plastic bag? But he held it up and he said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today I am going to give each and every one of you a plastic bag. Sorry, a plastic bag. Because we're from Minnesota, we say bag. All right. And he said, when you go home, I want you to take this plastic bag and I want you to find the toy that you love the most. I want you to put it in the plastic bag and I want you to bring it back to the masjid. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to give out of what we love the most. And these people who've come, they don't have any toys, they don't have any clothes. We need to give them the best. So when we got home, it was super duper easy for my older brother Muhammad. My older brother Muhammad, he ran into the garage. He opened up the plastic bag. He found his baseball glove. He put the baseball glove in. He ran into the kitchen and he said, Mommy, this is what I love the most. For my older sister Shireen, it was easy too. She ran into her bedroom. She opened up the plastic bag. One by one, she put in her stuffed animals. She ran into the kitchen. She said, Mommy, this is what I love the most. Do you guys know what toy I love the most? Simba. I remember that moment. My hands started to sweat. I put it on the doorknob. I twisted it. I opened the door. Simba was sitting on the bed. I looked at him, and Simba looked at me. I got closer towards him. I opened up the plastic bag. I grabbed Simba. I held him in my hands. I looked at him one last time, but my hands started to shake and quiver. And as my hand is shaking and trembling, sweat starts dripping down my cheek and my throat is feeling dry and coarse, and I'm trying to put him into the plastic bag, but I just couldn't do it. I put Simba down. I noticed that there was a Thomas the Train puzzle in the corner of my room, and so I opened up the bag, I put in the Thomas the Train puzzle, I came downstairs and I said, here you go, Mommy. But she looks at me and she says, not so fast, mister. And she said it just like that. I don't know why, but she said. I said, yeah, what, Mom? What, Mom? She said, Amin, you are supposed to give the toy that you love the most. The toy that you love the most. You and I both know that you don't like Thomas the Train the most. You love Simba. Now, she had a really good point. So I started thinking, what in the world could I possibly tell her? And then I got it. I go to my mom and I say, hey, Mom. She says, yes, Amin. I said, hey, Mommy. She says, yes, Mom. I said, Mommy. She says, yes. I said, Mommy, do you love me? And she said, yeah, Amin, I love you. I said, Mom, do you love me a lot? A lot? She said, yes, Amin, I love you a lot, a lot. I said, Mommy, do you love me more than anything in the whole wide world? And she said, yes. So then I told her, well, Mom, if we are supposed to give what we love the most, well, then why don't you give me away? And you know what my mom did? She gave me away. No, my mom didn't give me away. On that day, my mom told me a secret. She said, Amin, when you give out of what you love the most, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator, when you give out of what you love the most for the sake of Allah, Allah, our creator, will give you something so much better. And I said, wait, hold on. So, Mom, you're telling me if I give away Simba, you're going to give me a better gift? She said, no, I'm not going to give it to you. Allah, our creator, will. And on that day, I did give Simba away. I did. And you know what? My mom was right. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me something so much better. Do you know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me? Allah, our creator, gave me the opportunity to share this story with you today. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you so much for joining me today. Now, my name is Brother Amin Aaser, and I am the author of Noor Kids. By round of applause, who here's ever heard of Noor Kids before? And I thought it might be a little bit louder because we're from Minnesota. If you guys know Noor Kids, can you give us a little round of applause? Alhamdulillah. Today, I wanted to talk about something called being big-hearted, okay? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Amin, my heart is only this big. How can I make it bigger? And it's very simple. I want you to repeat it after me, okay? Plant-based. Whole foods. No, I'm just kidding. When I say being big-hearted, I don't mean actually making our hearts bigger. What I mean is being more kind, being more generous, being more loving, being more caring. And the reason why I care about it so much is because of this guy over here. This is my older brother, Muhammad. And this is my older sister, Shireen. And this is me when I was a young boy. Now, when I was young, more than anything, I loved playing with my brother, especially baseball. I would run to his room after I'd come home from school. I would knock on his door, and the two of us, we'd go outside and we'd play baseball every day. Except for once. I remember I ran up to his bedroom and I knocked on his door. I went, Muhammad, are you in there? But I didn't hear anything back. I thought, that's weird. I know he's in there, so I knocked again. Muhammad, are you in there? Again. I didn't hear anything. So this time I put my ear on the door and I said, Muhammad, are you in there? And when I put my ear on the door, I could hear something. It was like, my brother was crying. I asked him permission and he let me in, and I saw that my brother was sitting on his bed crying. I sat next to him and I said, Muhammad, what happened? And he said, Amin, the kids at the masjid. The kids at the masjid were bullying him. And when I say bullying, I don't mean that they were hitting him with their hands or their stones or anything like that. No. They were saying things to him that were mean. Sometimes when they would all play football together, they wouldn't invite him, and it broke my brother's heart. And so today, I want to talk about we as Muslims, why we stand up against bullying and how to do it, okay? If you guys want me to do this, I want you to clap once. If you want me to read you the story, I want you to clap twice. If you want me to read the story, I want you to clap 3 times. MashaAllah, I see some of the dads were like clapping a lot. Alhamdulillah, that's what I'm talking about. No, okay, so before I read you this story, I want to just take a moment to tell you about Noor Kids. So Noor Kids follows a story of 4 characters: Amin, Shireen, Asad, and Amira. They live in a city called, does anyone know what city they live in? What is it? Maple Grove. And they go to a school. Does anyone know what school they go to? Northport Elementary. Okay, so first there's Amin. Amin's a sports star. He's got an older brother in college named Hasib. Lots of times he does stuff without thinking about it, and because of that he gets into trouble. Then there is Asad. Asad's a scientist. He loves to break things apart just to figure out how to put them back together again. And he has a little baby sister named Yusra. Then there is Shireen. Shireen is a trailblazer. Lots of times you'll see her doing amazing things just like her mom, who works for National Geographic. She has a twin brother named Jafar. And then there's Amira. Amira's an artist. She loves exploring all of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's beauty through art and poetry and painting. Now, these 4 are the Noor Kids. Now, the other thing I'll share with you, many of you are part of our character building program, and you might not know this, and many of you might not be in our character building program. Alhamdulillah, since starting 10 years ago, when we were students, now we have over 150 stories. And you'll notice that some of them are blue when you look at the books, some of them are green, and some of them are yellow. And the reason why is because we follow a curriculum of topics. The blue ones are all around akhlaq, character, like honesty, patience, gratitude. The green ones are all around belief, like prayer, charity, fasting, belief in the hereafter. And the yellow ones are around citizenship. In Arabic, we call it haqqun nas, our obligation towards humanity. Things like caring about our neighbors and our family and standing up against bullying. So this is a little bit about Noor Kids. Now, I'm going to be reading one story out of this book called Noor Kids Stand Up to Bullying. But before I start, I need everyone to say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. See, guys, that was kind of weak. Just real talk is kind of weak. Just like last weekend, I was talking to a group of people just like you in Houston, and I asked them to say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and they did it a little bit louder. Do you guys think you can do it a little bit louder? What do you think? You can do it a little bit louder? Okay, all right, sounds good. On the count of 3, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that was good, but again, there was a couple of dads in the back who didn't do it, so... No, I'm kidding. Everyone look back, don't look back. I was just joking. All right, we'll start. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. See into the future. This is, by the way, one of our very first books, so you'll notice it rhymes. I really like this one. Okay. Everyone, please sit down in your chairs. I want to tell you about the science fair. The winner will be featured in the newspaper for all to see. You may even get the chance to appear on TV. By the way, can everyone see this? Is there anyone who can't see this? Yeah. Can you guys see it over there? Yeah? Because otherwise you guys can come over here. If you can't see, you guys can come closer. This is your chance. If anyone can't see, you can come closer. Anyone? Come closer if there's anyone. There's chairs over here too. Okay, all right. The winner will be featured in the newspaper for all to see. You may even get the chance to appear on TV. Asad raises his hands. After class, can I show you what I've made? Mr. Salman replies, of course, I'm sure it will be great. Hearing the teacher, Zain felt dismayed. Zain was feeling a little bit angry about the situation. The lunch bell rang and everyone started to clear away except for Zayn, who decided to watch from his seat and stay. Asad's presenting to his teachers. Here are the eyeglasses. They give you X-ray vision. Policemen can use the glasses to catch villains. So, does anyone know what X-rays do? An X-ray lets you see through things, okay? Like sometimes when you go to the doctor, there's like an X-ray machine so you can see through things, okay? So these glasses, they can see through things and policemen can use it to catch villains. Subhanallah, says Mr. Salman, your glasses can help keep everyone in Maple Grove safe and sound. But Zayn had heard enough. He left the room bitter, stomping on the ground. Do you guys want to stomp with me? Let's stomp. Stomp, stomp. All right, very good. Zayn was jealous that Asad's project was so great, so he said something mean and filled with hate. I just saw the ugliest thing in the whole wide world. Asad's glasses. They made me want to hurl. That's a pretty mean thing to say. Jeepers, Zayn, says Amin. That was a seriously mean thing to say. Asad is my friend. You need to be kinder next time, okay? And plus, I think the eyeglasses are really cool. They're probably the best project at school. After hearing compliments, Zayn became even more envious and cruel. He stuck his foot out to trip Asad and make him look like a fool. Asad fell flat on his face. Food splattered all over the place. Can you see that? Look, Asad stands up for himself now. I tried to ignore you, but enough is enough. Stop this. You are making my life so tough. Asad stood up for himself in front of Zayn. Asad tried to show him that bullying causes pain. When school was over, everyone climbed aboard the bus, but Asad was worried. He didn't want Zayn to create another fuss. Asad, can I sit with you? Asks Zayn. I guess if you really have to, says Asad. Zayn says, I'm sorry for being mean. It wasn't my intention. Is there any chance you would still let me see your invention? Sure, man, says Asad. But Asad didn't realize Zayn's evil plan. Zayn threw the eyeglasses out the window, breaking them in half. Zayn held his belly and began to laugh. You guys don't have an evil laugh? No? All right, sorry, I do that sometimes. All right. He didn't even laugh. Now you have nothing for the fair tomorrow. I cannot wait to see you in sorrow. Asad's feeling pretty bad. All right, so a couple of questions before we go on. Number one, why is Zayn bullying Asad? I'm gonna go over there in the blue. Come up to the front. Yep, up to the front. Everyone give him a round of applause. Round of applause. You guys, bigger round of applause, bigger round of applause. All right, what is your name?
Zakaria.
Zakaria. And Zakaria, how old are you?
10.
MashaAllah. Everyone look at Zakaria. So, Zakaria, why is Zayn bullying Asad?
Because he's jealous that Asad has a really cool invention.
So Asad has this really cool invention, right? He made these eyeglasses and Zayn is starting to feel a little jealous. By the way, you guys, Some of us may have felt that feeling before, jealous, right? Jealous is when we see something that someone else has, and in our heart we wish we want it. And not only that we want it, we can sometimes want the other person not to have it. Hold on, Zachariah. That's called jealousy, and jealousy can make people do very bad things. So we have to make sure if we have that feeling, we have to get it out. But before we talk about, I need to ask you, Zachariah, did Asad try to stand up for himself?
Yes.
How did he stand up for himself?
He asked Zayn to stop.
Yeah, in the lunchroom, he said, I try to tell you enough is enough. Please stop this, right? But did he stop? So now, what do you think Asad should do now? So first, he tried to ignore it. Then he stood up to himself, but it hasn't stopped. So what do you think Asad should do next?
He should tell the teacher or ask his parents to talk to Zayd's parents.
So now he should talk to an adult. Very good. Everyone give Zachariah a big round of applause. Big round of applause. You can go back. So the first time that Asad was bullied, he tried to ignore it. Remember when they were in the classroom? Asad didn't say anything. He just ignored it. Then the second time when Zayn tripped him, Asad stood up for himself and he said, hey, stop that. But now Zayn is still not stopping, and it's become physical. If bullying ever becomes physical, now we have to tell a responsible adult, okay? So let's see what happens. Dad, today Zayn broke my eyeglasses because he wants to see me fail. He is evil. I want him to be behind bars in jail. Dad says, I'm so sorry, son. I'll call his parents to tell them what he has done. Later that day, Zayn's dad says, I spoke with Zayn's parents about what he did today. They said that Zayn learned his lesson and will no longer treat you that way. Now I think it's time you build an even better invention. What do you say? You think so, Dad? Asks Asad. Absolutely, sport. Just ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help. He is your very best support. Asad gathered his tools and supplies. He was determined to win first prize. Asad worked the whole entire night. He wouldn't give up without a fight. After finishing, Asad raised his hands and began to pray. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you guided me through a tough situation. My Lord, now I pray that you help me win this competition. The people trickled into the school auditorium for the science fair. Each student had an amazing gadget to share. This is on the speaker system. Psst, paging Asad, the judges are waiting for you. Now the judges are here. There's judge 1, 2, and 3. Asad, what do you have to show us today? Asad replies, behold, the eyeglasses 2.0. It scans your mind to see how you think, then it guesses your future and it draws it in ink. Wow, this is pretty incredible. These are new glasses that can see into the future. We are impressed, says the judge. Your invention is the very best. The crowd gave a standing ovation. They loved Asad's newest creation. You guys, can we give Asad the round of applause? Asad came off the stage and went to find Zayn. He now had a way to show how bullying causes pain. Zayn, would you like to try these glasses on? Asks Asad. Zayn responds, but aren't you worried? Aren't you worried that I will break them or do something wrong? No, just put them on and tell me what you see. Now remember, these glasses are special. They can see into the future, right? Put them on and tell me what you see. Zayn says, when I look at you, I see a king, someone I want to be. But when I see myself, I see someone poor, alone, and on his knees. Oh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is going to happen to me? Asad says, have you read the Quran recently? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises justice for every atom of good and evil. Don't you see? That means He will punish you if you continue bullying me. And Adam means every smidgen of good and evil, Allah will compensate us. If we do good, we will have good. If we do evil, well then evil will happen to us too. I am so sorry about the other day, says Zayn. I cannot believe I acted in such a bad way. My bullying will stop forever, starting today. Will you guys give me a round of applause? Okay, so you guys, a couple of questions here. Question number 1. What did Zayn see when he put the glasses on? Yes, over here. Why don't you come to the front? Everyone give her a round of applause. Come on, you guys, a big round of applause. All right, what is your name?
Nabila,
Nabila, and how old are you?
9.
And Nabila, when Zayn put the glasses on, what did he see when he saw Asad?
He was a king.
He saw him as a king. And what did Zayn see when he saw himself?
He was poor and broke.
And why? Why did he see that in his future?
Because he was bullied.
And what happens to people who bully?
They get punished.
They get punished. Everyone give Nabila a big round of applause. Come sit. So guys, this is a very important lesson, okay? Important lesson number 1. We have to make sure that we treat other people with gentleness and kindness and love, and make sure that we are never like Zayn in this story, where we hurt someone's feelings or we say something mean. Why? Well, because if we bully and we hurt someone's feeling, there is a justice for what we do. So we have to make sure that we never treat anyone that way. Okay? If you agree with me, I want you to clap once. If you agree with me, I want you to clap twice. If you agree with me, I want you to clap 3 times. But there's something else in this story that's very important. It's called being an upstander. I want you to say it after me. Upstander. Upstander. One more time. Upstander. Upstander. One last time. Upstander. Upstander. So, do you notice what happened here? Do you remember how Amin, he stood up for his friend? Do you remember that? When the stuff was happening and Amin saw that, he didn't just sit there and just see the bullying happen. No, Amin stood up. He said, hey, he said, jeepers, Zayn, that's a seriously mean thing to say. Asad is my friend. You need to be kinder to him next time, okay? Do you know our holy prophet, peace be upon him? He tells us that we need to be upstanders too. He says if anyone sees injustice, if you see bullying, our prophet tells us we first need to try to fix it with our own hands. If we can't fix it with our own hands, then we should speak out against it. And if we can't even speak out against it, then the least that we should do is we should feel bad about it in our hearts. Can I tell you why? Over here you see these branches, okay? These branches are very important. If you can hear me clap once, can you hear me clap twice? Can you hear me clap 3 times? No, after this, I think we might even sing on this sheet. We'll see. We might even do that, okay? So let's get through this. All right, so look. This is one little branch on its own. One little branch on its own. It's kind of like us. When we're alone, we're like this little branch. Now, do you think this little branch is easy to break? You don't think it's easy to break? Who thinks it's easy to break? Do you guys think I can break it? All right, let's see, okay? One little branch. Let me see if I can break it. Actually, super easy. It was super duper easy to break. Alone, one branch it's pretty easy to break. But what if all of the branches are together? If all of the branches are together, do you think it's easy to break? No. Do you guys think I can break it? No. All right, let's see what happens. You can't break it. You can't break it. That one branch that was so easy to break when it was on its own, when they are together, are strong. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is why we as Muslims, we stand up against bullying. If you ever see your sister or your brother being bullied, you stand up for them. Because when you stand up for them, then we're not alone. We're not just like one branch alone. No, we are together. Do you see that? How when together we are strong, but alone we can be weak? And that is why we as Muslims stand up against bullying. Now, speaking of bullying, there's one man who got bullied a lot. And it was our Holy Prophet, peace and blessings be on him. You know, our Holy Prophet, peace and blessings be on him, when he was telling people about Islam and inviting people to join and say, you guys, join Islam, it's the best. People would be very mean. Sometimes they would make fun of him. Sometimes they would actually hurt him. You know, there was one time when there was little kids, little boys and girls, they would take rocks and they would throw them at our Holy Prophet so much that there would be like blood coming down his face, and it would even be on his sandals. That's how much he was bullied. But when he went to Medina, the Muslims in Medina, they welcomed him. They welcomed him with a song. And I want you guys to do with me today. You guys want to do with me today? Yeah. All right, so I need everyone to sit on their chairs nicely, okay, with your chest back like this, okay? Your hands on your knees, okay? And don't put your back against the thing. I want you to lean up a little bit, okay? I need you to apply, you have to do it with me, okay? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. We're saying, Ya Allah, send your blessings on our Holy Prophet. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. All together. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. All together. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I need you guys to do it with me one more time, but louder, okay? Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داعي صلى الله على محمد. All together. صلى الله عليه وسلم. صلى الله على محمد. صلى الله عليه وسلم. Will you guys give me a round of applause? Woo! All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the end of the program, but before you go, I do want to take a moment to tell you guys about Noor Kids if you haven't heard of it before. Noor Kids is an organization that we started 10 years ago when we were students at Harvard University. We wanted to figure out how do we make sure that Muslim children ages 4 to 10 not just learn about Islam, but develop a pride. So we did a bunch of research and we created our character building program. Today there are 10,000 families around the world who benefit from our program, and I would love for your family to join and benefit from it too. The way it works is really simple. Number one is every month families receive a new book delivered to their home. They're designed around critical thinking, and every book has 2 stories. So that way parents and kids can have a quality conversation around faith with their kids. The second is every week on Thursday nights, we do something called a khutbah for kids, which is just like this, but also kind of like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, if you remember that. And we have a community of children who join us for this live session every Thursday night. Now, normally this is about $50 for 4 months to join, but at Mass today we're doing a little bit of a discount because we know how our Muslim brothers and sisters in Minnesota love discounts. So anyways, it's $30, and for $30 today you will get 4 books as a gift for free, and you'll also get our next 4 months, and you'll also be able to join us for our classes. Please, inshallah, take a look in the bazaar, support our efforts, allow your family to benefit, and we will, of course, appreciate your support as well. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.